Hey guys, welcome back to the show. If you are into real estate, this is going to be a great interview for you. I got to run into Mark Choey, founder of Climb RE, which was a niche real estate brokerage in San Francisco that blew up and then eventually got acquired by Realogy, one of the largest real estate companies in the world. And now he is working on a revolutionary software to help real estate agents close more deals. I hope you enjoyed this interview. It was really great. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to bring this content to you. Before we get into it, though, if you would please do me a solid and like and subscribe to this channel, and then also shoot me a comment and hit me up on social media at ENS Hoover. Enjoy the show. All right, welcome to the show, Mark. How you doing?
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Ian.
Absolutely. For those of you that don't know, Mark Choey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher it.
It's okay. Choey. Just don't call it Chewy.
Chewy, no Chewy. Gotcha. Choey, he's a real estate entrepreneur. He started Climb RE out in San Francisco, right?
Yes.
It's a big market.
Yes.
Yeah, and you sold that to Realogy back in 2016. So how did you get into real estate?
Oh man, it's funny. It was back in 2005. Everyone was buying real estate as an investment. And I was buying, properties for investing. This was right before the subprime, or right during the subprime crisis, where you could get interest-only loans and reverse AM loans and things like that. So everyone was buying real estate. Real estate was going up, 15, 20, 25% a year. Everyone was becoming a real estate investor. And so I was buying stuff too. And my agent at the time, his name was Chris Lim, he said, hey, you know what? You should maybe get your license. Why don't you get your license? And I was sort of puzzled. I was like, really? Get a license? I didn't really think about that. And I said, sure, why not? I'll get my license, and then maybe it could help me with the investment side of things. But one thing led to another, and I got my license, and I started, learning about, shucking real estate, right? And representing buyers and sellers. And then I started getting into it. And then I realized I needed to hang my license somewhere. So I joined Keller Williams. And then I could talk more about that. But that's essentially, it was my agent told me to get a license.
So your agent told you to get your license so you could stop being a client for him, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was obviously, he just thought I'd be good at it. And I never saw myself as an agent. I never saw myself as, I have sales ability, but I didn't really see myself as a salesman. So, one thing led to another. I got my license, and then I joined Keller, and then I read the Red Book.
The Red Book. What a great book.
Yes. The Keller Williams Red Book, which is a must read for every beginner agent. But then it set me off on another path. So I could talk about that next, but I want to hear what your next question is. Yeah.
So talk to me about when you first got into real estate, selling real estate, and what was your focus like? Did you have any mentors? How did you get started?
My mentor was Chris Lim, and he was a rock star salesperson in San Francisco. And at the time when I joined him, he had listings and buyers like no one's business, and I think he was like one of the top 25 agents in the whole city at that time.
Wow.
And and Gary Keller, of course, was a huge inspiration, and then several top agents in the area and at Keller Williams were my inspiration, right? And your role models. And so, I was just trying to figure it out. I was just trying to see because there's so many different ways to be an agent, right? You can be very lead driven, volume. You could be very service oriented and high end. You could be very first time buyer. you can be real estate investor. So like so many different ways and styles to sell real estate and to set up a business, around being an agent. And so I was just learning from anyone. And, at Keller Williams, you also have a mentor program that you need to go through, at least the one in San Francisco. And there were basically you had to do 3 deals with 3 different people. And, so those guys were my mentors, right? But Gary Keller and Chris Lim and several top agents in San Francisco were people I looked up to.
So the 3 deals with 3. So I actually was with Keller too for a large percentage of my career, and we did not have a mentor program. So you had to do 3 deals with 3 different people. Were those deals that you sourced, or you were just involved on their deals, helping them out?
Those deals were deals I sourced, and so they were either seller deals or buyer deals, and the senior agents in the firm would help you through it, and they would get a piece. They would get a referral fee or whatever it is, or a small piece. So that's the way they handled their mentor program at the Keller Williams back in 2006 in San Francisco.
Do you think that was a good way to get started as an agent?
Yeah, I mean, it's good because you need a lot of help with the mechanics of a deal. And also from a manager's perspective or broker manager, if you're large, right? If that Keller was a 200-person agency, so the sales manager doesn't have time to go through specifics of a deal. And so it's a great way for the management or the ownership of a large brokerage to help out the senior agents at the brokerage who are experienced and know a lot about a deal, and they know a lot about how selling real estate works, but put them into a manager position on a deal basis. So, they give opportunities for senior agents to be mentors to individuals without giving them the title of being a manager.
And so what year was that? Was that like 2007?
2006, 2007, 2008. I think I was at Keller Williams just for 2 years, 2006, 2007.
And was the team model, because that was a little bit before my time, was the team model kind of relevant back then, or was it not very relevant?
No, teams were just starting, and the whole team concept was just starting. And that red book talked about teams, and it's the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? I think it is. Mm-hmm. And it's to talk about teams and team models and how you should have roles and be efficient and stuff like that. But having branded teams inside of a brokerage was new. And that was a controversial thing, in the industry at the time. But it was the future for sure, like having an individually branded team within a corporate brokerage brand, like a brand within a brand, was new, and it was very controversial for obvious reasons. The brokerage owner doesn't want that, right? They want to brand their own, but the agent doesn't want to brand, build the brand of the brokerage owner. Generally, they want to build, every agent is an entrepreneur, is their own entrepreneur, and they all want to build their own brand, most of them, right? So there's a little conflict, right? And but we started our Climb brand, CLIMB, and we started it within our brokerages that we were working at. Fast forward a little bit, I left Keller Williams after a year or so. I learned everything I needed to learn. I know actually it was shorter than that. It was 5 months. I was selling deals really fast, and I felt like I learned everything I needed to learn at Keller Williams from that branch. And I left to join Chris at Urban Bay Properties, which was an urban brand, a loft, condo, downtown centered brokerage that really focused on not homes, but essentially like high rise and loft and urban living. That brand and brokerage sort of resonated with me more. So Chris and I decided to form, team up at Urban Bay. So I left and I went to Urban Bay. And then that's when Climb started.
So you actually started Climb as a team
as a team. Yeah.
underneath another brokerage.
Another brokerage, correct.
And how long were you a team with Climb?
Yeah, so then we started Climb, and then we were under Urban Bay as well as another brokerage called Vanguard. So we left Urban Bay, joined Vanguard, and then we got the green light to start Climb Real Estate under Vanguard. And James Nunemacher, who's still there today, he's built a very powerful brand and brokerage in San Francisco. He set up another division for us, the Climb Real Estate division, basically, and let us run with it. And he was a very pioneering brokerage owner, and he's doing like what Side Real Estate does today, or EXP. They'll just let you build brands underneath them, and the mother brokerage or corporate brokerage will just take a piece, basically, and allow you to do and operate your brokerage the way your team, the way you see fit. And he pioneered that model, or he implemented his own version of it, and Climb Real Estate was it. And we grew really fast. We grew to like 25 agents under him. And we were roughly about 20 to 25% of the volume in that brokerage. And our model was to focus on first-time buyers and downtown living. San Francisco was going through a renaissance of building new condos, high-rise condos, and a lot of housing. They're planning to put 30,000 new houses downtown in San Francisco, in a district called South of Market, SoMa. And it's where all the warehouses, garages, auto repair stores, auto repair shops, a lot of dilapidated buildings, parking lots, gas stations, and things like that. And, tech was moving into San Francisco back in the late 2000s. And, they had to build housing. So that's the only area of the city that was undeveloped. And every city has this, right? It's like a rundown, unrenovated, wasteland of garages and abandoned warehouses, and it's a great place for urban renewal. It's a place for redevelopment. And so this part of San Francisco was tabbed for high-rise, high-density residential. And I said, wow, this is a great opportunity to put our flag down here and try to capture market share in this essentially a new neighborhood. It was a new neighborhood that was sprouting out of the ground. At the time, it was roughly about 10% of the sales of the city. But I said, wow, if at this rate, it could be probably the number one district in all of San Francisco. And fast forward 5-6 years, and that's what happened. It became 25% of the sales of the whole entire city. And we latched onto that trend, climbed it, and we grew. We grew to being one of the top brokerages in the city, in the Bay Area, and in the country. And our brand grew from there. And the whole plan always was to own this neighborhood. And I said, hey, if we were able to own this neighborhood, dominate this area and neighborhood, someone's going to want to acquire us, right? And so that's what happened. Realogy, the largest real estate company in the country, purchased us. They purchased us back in 2016.
So was that kind of your thought from day one, is like, we're going to build this up and then just get acquired? Like that was your goal from day one?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, they always say you don't want to build a company or a business to be acquired. But, when you're building a business, one of the eventualities of any business is acquisition, right? So, or you go IPO, or you maybe hold it as a business, ongoing concern forever. But those are the three options. And so acquisition was one for sure that we went into thinking like, hey, there's an opportunity here to be acquired by a larger brokerage, or maybe go national ourselves. But, we decided to take the acquisition route.
Very cool. So a couple of questions on, from an agent point of view, what do you think the most important thing is when you're an agent looking for a brokerage? What do you think the number one most important thing is?
I think camaraderie is one, and openness to newcomers. There are some brokerages who, the agents are can be, the culture is very, I would say, poisonous, where they are very cutthroat, competitive. They're not open to sharing. They're not open to helping. And I hated that about some of the brokerages in San Francisco. There were a lot of like high end, really clubby, clicky brokerages where the agents would just keep to themselves. They wouldn't share, they wouldn't talk to anyone. And, for us, we wanted an open environment where any agent could feel friendly about coming in, talking, and getting help. So, number one is the culture for me. Number two is training, right? If you're a new agent, you need training. You can't just walk in, get your license, and just, get your business cards and you're ready to go. There is a lot to learn that a license doesn't teach you. The license teaches you around the laws of real estate and brokerage and agency, but they don't teach you how to market. They don't teach you how to deal with a lead. They don't teach you how to close a lead. They don't teach you how to service the lead or the customer. These things you need to learn on the job with your team leader or brokerage owner or brokerage training program. And so training and culture, the two things I think any new agent needs. And then the third thing is business. Like, does that brokerage give you business? Does the team or other agents in there, are they overwhelmed with business such that they need to bring on a new buyer agent, for example? And I think those three things are probably the most important things an agent needs. And a new agent needs. And the best way for a new agent, I think, is to join one of these some team or another agent that has a lot of business they can't handle. And this way, it's a win-win, because the new agent could come in and help service those new leads or customers, but the agent or team bringing in the business, they need help. Right? They can't deal with all the leads in business. So they need assistant agents in, they need buyer agents in. And the normal exchange is training for business, right? You help service business and we train you at the same time. And then you give a greater piece of your split to that rainmaker, we call it. The rainmaker being the person bringing in the business. So that's generally how I see it working. And you always join as a buyer agent, right? Because that's the buyers are the first ones. They're easier to deal with. Well, not easier to deal with, but there's more of them in general. And there's a lot of there's more buyer leads in general than, well, at least in San Francisco, there's more buyer leads than there were seller leads in San Francisco.
I think that's in every market. There's definitely more buyer leads in my market for sure too.
Yeah.
On the brokerage side, now you were, I guess, sort of independent. So you were like underneath another brand.
Yeah.
One of the struggles, at least that myself and some other independent brokers I know have, is being able to attract already successful talent to come into the brokerage. I mean, it's easy to go get new agents. How did you guys go get talent that was already successful, and what would you recommend to those brokers who are struggling?
Yeah, the question was for the brokerage owner to find new talent.
Yeah, how to attract like already existing agents that are producing agents.
Oh yeah, that's a very tricky one, right?
Right.
They basically the way we always looked at this was an agent at any level, whatever level you're at, whether you're new, you're 2 years into it, or you're a moderate producer, or you're a top producer, every agent wants to get to the next level, right? You want to get one, like if you've done 10 deals in a year, you want to get to 15. If you've done 15 deals in a year, you want to get to 20. If you've done 20 deals in a year, you want to get to 30. Whatever it is, you generally want to get to the next level. Now, of course, there's a lot of people who are comfortable and they're like, this is good. I'm going to just do this. I just need to do these numbers next year. But a lot of agents want to get to the next level. They're very, very rarely, maybe 10, 15% of them that are happy where they are, right? No one wants to say, I want to do less, right? Unless you're retiring. So everyone wants to get more. And agents are greedy, right? And salespeople, they're greedy. They want to get to the next. So you want to join a place where you can do that. So, you need, and so if you are, for example, let's say your brokerage, your top producer does, well, give me an idea in your area. What is the average sale price?
The average sales price is about 200 grand in our area, and a median producer will do about $6 to $7 million in production.
Medium, and a top producer would do
like 20 to 30 million.
Got it. Okay, so let's say your shop, and I won't use you as an example. So I'll just pick me, our shop, but like in our area in San Francisco, an average producer back in my day would do like 10, 15 million. A top producer would do 40 million. And then there were like mega producers do 60, 70, 80 million, whatever it is. A rookie could do 5 million, 5 to 10 million, something like that. An average sale price was 800,000 for something. Now it's like about 1.2, 1.3, something like that. So, let's say you are a medium producer, and you want to join a place that has a lot of top producers, right? Let's say you do 10, 15 million, you want to join a place where you can learn and, because there's a lot to learn if there's a lot of top producers. But let's say you're a top producer, let's say you do 40 million and everyone at the firm does 30 million. Well, why would you, as a 40 million top producer, join a firm that all has $30 million people in it? Or maybe there's only $2 $30 million and the rest are rookies and mid-level producers. So, it's all a function of like where that agent wants to go. If the agent wants to get to a top producer, you're not going to join a shop that has a bunch of medium producers, right? But if you're a mega producer and you're doing 100 million, let's say, or 150 million, you're going to attract a lot of people that do 40, 50, 60 million, right? And below. So it's a function, I think it's a pyramid, right? It's the leader is always going to be sales leaders, right? They're going to be sales leaders. They're doing 150 million, 100 million, 90 million, whatever in your area is a sales leader. It's just going to be a pyramid from there. And that's just the way it is in sales, in real estate. Now, but in life in general, in any industry, you always need someone at the top of the pyramid that everyone is striving to be like. The more people you have at the top of the pyramid that are owners, the better, right? And but if you're at the top of the pyramid and you're not an owner, that's a problem. That's a problem because that guy can leave, or that guy or girl can leave and go anywhere they want. Right? Or they could form their own brokerage. And that's generally how these brokerages are formed. They're formed from the rainmaker, top producer of that right? Of that area. Yeah. And so it all comes from sales leadership. It all comes from sales leadership. And there is nothing else, right? People try to start with brands, and sure, you could do that, but a beautiful brand and great marketing and systems and tech is nothing without top producing agents, right? You need the top producers in there. You need the sales leadership. That in our experience, that's what it was.
So knowing what you know now, if you were to go back to 2006 and start back over, what would you do differently?
Wow, that's a good question. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things you always look back on and you say, oh, what could I do differently? What can I do better? That's a good question. I don't know. We did it well. We would, we attacked the market. We focused on this market, this downtown area, and we dominated the market. And then we grew with the city, we grew with the market, and we were acquired. I don't know. Maybe what I would have done differently was, instead of using technology from other people, maybe looking at building our own proprietary technology stacks. and owning that tech stack. Because if we had built that stack and owned it, our valuation for the company would have been a lot different.
Yeah, it's
right?
why companies like Compass are trying to be tech companies versus real
That's
estate
right.
companies, right?
That's right. And
Absolutely.
yeah, in hindsight, maybe investing in a tech platform that we could have leveraged and grown through or from, instead of borrowing from others, that would have been probably one thing, but hindsight's 2020.
Absolutely. Well, now you've moved on. You sold your brokerage back in 2016. I don't know if you remember, but I met you in 2019 at Inman in Las Vegas. You probably don't remember. We were at Topgolf together, and I was just blown away.
Oh yeah.
This small independent firm in San Francisco got bought up by Realty. That's really cool. And you could tell though that I got to meet you, and I believe I got to meet a couple of your partners. You could tell that every time I talked to you guys, you already had something else on your mind, like that you were going to work on, but for whatever reason you weren't working on that yet, or maybe you were, but it was behind the scenes. So talk to us about Highnote and what you're doing over there and what the future looks like for you.
Yeah, when I was an agent and I was a brokerage owner, we had a major problem. One was winning leads. And how do you win a lead? And every agent has this problem. Now, you get an email from a lead or you get a call and you need to follow up with them. And usually, you need to follow up with some nice materials, right? You need to, and over email, right? You need something that you can email to them. And you can't just say to them, go to my website or email just your website, right? You can, but that's what everyone else is doing. So what do you do to stand out? And you need to build some presentation you need to build a presentation basically to present your services, like why you as an agent, why your brokerage. And you can, but it's not optimal sending an email full of links and attachments. And that's what ends up happening. A lot of people just send a link. Here's my website. Here are my testimonials. Here's my latest listings. And their emails, or maybe a YouTube video, or maybe that plus a PDF or a PowerPoint, something like that. And what happens is the seller or the lead gets this email full of confusing links and attachments, and it's not a great experience for the seller. And then you don't know what's happening. You don't know what they're looking at, what they're clicking at. You don't know what they're reading. And as a brokerage owner, you want to support your agents, and agents have this need. They have this need to present all the time, but they don't have time to build a presentation. They don't have time to make something look good. So we couldn't hire a lot of marketing people to turn around these presentations. We tried to hire marketing people, and but the turnaround time was less than ideal. I mean, you need to get these things done within an hour or 2 hours, right? They're expecting a response. Why? Because they're getting shopped by many other agents. So the one that responds first is often a leg up. And so, I said, geez, there needs to be a tool that an agent can just use to build a stunning presentation and deliver materials in presentation form and not send over a 60-page PDF that a seller or buyer can't read or download. And then there needs to be a way to see or understand what the seller is reading or likes or is interested in. And so we built this platform. It's a new sales platform for real estate called Highnote. And it's a sales and pitching platform designed for real estate agents, busy real estate agents, to win more business and stand out from the competition. So we built that. I launched that about 1.5 years ago, and it's going great. Agents are loving it. We're helping them win more listings. We're helping them win offers. Agents are sending offers to each other with Highnote, and they're getting noticed. Their buyers are seeing their buyers' offers are being accepted. Above and beyond stronger offers, stronger monetary offers, and that we keep getting these testimonials from agents who say that they are, we're changing their business, we're helping them get to another level, and win listings that they wouldn't otherwise have won before, win offers that they otherwise wouldn't have won before. So that's what Highnote does. And I'm surprised that hasn't been built, or there isn't anything similar like that. But it's that's what we're doing.
That's very cool, and I got to demo this at Inman in 2021. That's where we reconnected, and I'm going to be a customer for sure. I'm going to use it. You showed me how I could use it for recruiting, which we're going to start that very soon here. And then I have a couple of my agents that I told them I'm going to reimburse the cost. I want them to check it out and get started and see how they like it. If they like it, we're going to try and maybe add it into our whole brokerage because I really like the software. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, where did you get did you come up with this while you were still like with Climb, or did you come up with this afterwards? And then are you like a software developer, or did you have to go out and hire somebody? How did this all come to fruition?
Yeah, we were, as agents, we're always trying to find a way to stand out and win. And, you do that with great marketing, you do that with expertise, demonstrating expertise, and you do that with market share, right? And our experience has always been sending out 50, 60 page PDFs. And, I just said, God, there's got to be a better way. And, you scour the landscape for different tools. And that's what we always did at Climb. I had this organization called Climb Labs, where we would experiment and try out technologies from all different industries and see if we can use them in real estate. And, sometimes we would build small things, but we never built anything substantial. Very often people would send links to like Dropboxes, right? You send a link to a Dropbox full of collateral. And it's like, these are my postcards. This is my magazine. This is like how we do video. This is how we do virtual tours. This is how we do websites. And it's a really poor experience. And I said, wow, there just needs to be a way where people could just drag and drop things into a system, but add a beautiful, slick presentation layer on top. And then show people what is being read and what isn't being read. And I was like, if that was invented or used or built, for real estate, I think real estate agents would really like it. Why? Because I liked it. I needed it. And so after the sale of Climb and after I left Realogy, that's when I set off on this little adventure to build this product. We built this product, and we been using it, and we had beta users for a while. And then we said, okay, agents really like this. Let's go and let's keep building it and make it better. And we went national with it. So, we're in the early stages. Agents are finding us and hearing about us because other agents have been winning deals with it. Other agents have been winning listings with it. Other agents have been winning offers with it. Other agents have been successfully recruiting other agents to their brokerage with it. So that's the evolution of what happened. And there's many, many more things we want to add to the tool. But our ethos is, and our philosophy is help the agent be successful, right? And that's what I liked as a brokerage owner. My greatest joy was helping a new agent become a top producer. There was nothing more fun about real estate brokerage than that, mentoring someone to become a top producer or helping them achieve their financial dreams or sales dreams. I
was just saying that the other day. Somebody asked me why I'm doing what I do, and it's like there's nothing better than meeting with somebody and maybe they're struggling, or they're just their life isn't as good as it should be because they're financially hard up, and teaching them the business of real estate and seeing them succeed. And there's no better feeling in the world, in my opinion. So
helping someone out, like you're in a position to help someone do, and then this is like helping their careers out. It's not even just helping them like lift their bags or helping them carry something. It's helping their entire career. That has a huge impact, not just on themselves, but their family. And, that's the best feeling. So Highnote is designed around that. Like, let's help. We have this product, we have this idea, this product now. Let's help everyone in the industry get to the next level. And it's shocking that so many agents around the country don't have listing presentations. They don't have a way to build presentations. They don't have good ones. And so, you know, we're building this. We built this in a luxury market in San Francisco, and we're pushing it out nationwide.
Well, Mark, I'm gonna grill you right now. So what's the future? I mean, you trying to get bought up by like Inside RE, or are you trying to get bought up by a big tech firm, or you're gonna build your own big tech firm? What's the future?
Yeah, you know, any of those are possible. You know, I would say that you build a company, like I said earlier, you build a company for three reasons. One, to make a living, to see your vision be fulfilled, right? And your own boss. Two, you know, it could be acquired, obviously. That's just any company out there. Or three, you could go public, right? And these are the three things that could happen. So you know, you don't build a company again to get acquired, but you know, the eventual reality, you know, the reality is it could happen, right? You build a brokerage and it could be acquired. So, you know, all I know is that this product is needed. I feel like I can make a living doing that and helping others, helping other agents get successful. And all these presentations and the science of them all and how we build them, we offer free templates. And these templates came from their actual working templates. These are templates that we've proven to work in the field, in our business, you know, and you know, we refine them and hone them. And they are what successful agents have used to win business in other markets. So we're just, you know, selling that science and our experience, you know, trying to help the rest of the country.
Well, Mark, I'm a big fan. I appreciate you coming on to the show. I'm sorry for butchering your name. It's Mark Choey. I got it right this time. And I appreciate you coming on. I'm looking for big things from Highnote. I'm definitely a customer. Thank you so much for your time.
Ian, thank you. This is really a pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Ian.